Okay, so today I'm creating the family that is going to be moving in to the Riverside Estate, the house that I built for my birthday build, where I spewed 26 random facts about myself. So the family that's going to be moving into this house consists of 5 Sims, 2 parents, and 3 teenage daughters. Since I wanted to have some diversity within all the worlds in my save file, I decided that this family would be Armenian. So I did some research on Armenian names and came up with the last name Sarkissian. Or I didn't come up with it, it's I found it online. And yeah, that's an Armenian name, and I also gave them Armenian first names as well. So this is Eduardo Sarkissian. He is romantic, he's materialistic, and he hates children. Coincidentally, he has 3 of them. His aspiration is serial romantic. So he's been with his wife for a long time, and they did have 3 kids together, but since he hates children, he didn't have a huge role in raising them. His wife and probably a nanny would have done most of it. And he's very into his, I forget what career I gave him. He's a politician. That right there should say more about him than any of his traits. But yeah, he's a politician. He's pretty high up there. And he's also, since he's a romantic and a serial romantic, he's not that faithful to his wife, unfortunately, and he thinks that she doesn't know about it. So he does have a mistress that I will be creating, and she's going to be within the world somewhere in the save file. I'll be creating her a little bit later. So yeah, Eduardo's not the best guy. Like, you gotta have some good Sims, you gotta have some bad Sims, and Eduardo, unfortunately, I would put him under the bad category. He cheats on his wife, he's not really that involved in his kids' lives, and yeah, he's just not the greatest guy. So I kind of went through, gave him some he wears a lot of businessy kind of clothes. Even for his outerwear, he wears like a polo shirt, and yeah, a lot of blacks too. A lot of blacks in this family. Yeah, so that is Eduardo. And now I'm making his wife, which does turn into a woman. Right now it's a man. I was just looking up names. So I gave her the name Victoria, and then I changed it to Karina. So this is Karina Sarkissian. She is an insider, so she's very social. She's into clubs. I could see her being in like a book club and a wine club and having a lot of friends and spending a lot of time with them. She's also a snob, and she's a kleptomaniac. So the story with Karina is that whenever she goes out for these like book clubs or meetings with her friends or whatever she's doing, she's very, very social. Whenever she's doing that, she usually leaves people's houses with something in her pocket. She can't help but steal something. It's just who she is. I think it's a hilarious trait for her, considering she doesn't need to steal things. Her and her husband do have quite a bit of money. Like, they're not insanely wealthy, but they do have quite a bit of money, and they don't really need to steal things, but she can't really help it. So that's Karina. I find Karina to be a bit of a sad character. She wears a lot of blacks. She's been with her husband for a long time. She's a good mom to her kids, but you know, she's aware that her husband cheats on her, and she kind of just lets it slide, doesn't say anything, because she knows that if she did, her life would change drastically and she would lose everything that she has. So it's kind of pathetic, kind of sad. She has no choice but to just sort of put up with the stuff that her husband puts her through. I tried to avoid custom content once again. The default eyes I have, though, I can't do anything about that really. I could actually I'll probably remove the default eyes before I release a save file, and that'll fix that. And that'll be the only custom content that I use. So yeah, Karina, I gave her a black dress that I later changed to a different one. Just the black, I think, really worked for her. She is kind of more high class. She is a snob. She would be into like fancier things, more expensive clothes. She's obviously very beautiful. She's just kind of, I guess she's kind of shallow, I would say, which is a harsh thing to say. I really do like Karina, though, and her character. So I'm just going through and giving her all of her outfits, basically. I liked the tracksuit, but then I ended up changing it to like a hat and tights and just a regular, yeah, that sweater there, because I thought that looked good too. And then for her pajamas, I gave her like the robe with the fancy like head towel, because she thinks of herself as, you know, that fancy. And then I just went through and gave her just pretty much the same makeup for all of her outfits, except for, I think, the sleepwear, she didn't wear any makeup at all. And then for her outerwear, just that same coat that I use all the time. I do have different colors though, with that came with it came with a bunch of custom content that I downloaded, and I wish I could use them, but unfortunately I can't. So I did change her first outfit to this dress with the belt instead, and that's Karina. So then I took Karina and Eduardo, put them together and made them a baby. She had cheese hair to begin with, but I did change that. So this is their eldest daughter. No, yes it is, yeah. It's Monica, Sarkissian. Monica is jealous, and I think I gave her, perfectionist trait. And she's got a really weird, like, the foodie trait. It doesn't really mean, or the aspiration doesn't mean anything. I don't like the aspirations in the game, but you gotta give them to her, so that's what she got. Monica has the first of the 3 teen bedrooms that I did. She is more, I don't know, I can see her being like more into her looks. That's where the perfectionist part comes out. She is, I would say, out of the 3 kids, she is the prettiest of the 3. And I think she would probably get the most attention from boys as well. But she's like a stage 5 clinger. When she does have a boyfriend, she goes a little overboard. She's only a teen, but still, she can't quite keep a boyfriend. They just run for the hills once they get to know her. But yeah, the perfectionist part comes in, and like she's through when she's like picking out her clothes and how her hair is gonna look and her makeup. She's like obsessed with her look, and most of her outfits are pretty on point. She likes to get it just right. Her eyebrows are perfect too. Like, everything about her is just perfect. Her room isn't, I mean, it's pretty good too. Like, it's pretty perfect when you look at it, but it's not like neat and tidy like her other sister's room. She's more into her look. She's even more so shallow. Is that a word? Or is that a phrase? She's even more shallow than her mom, I would say. I really like Monica, but she's a little bit different. So yeah, just going through and gave her all of her outfits, and I think I changed her everyday outfit. I can't remember if I changed it or not. No, actually, I think I kept it like that. Yeah, so that is Monica. And then the next, the middle sister is, I think her name is Melina? Yes, Melina is her name. It was hard to remember all the names. She's creative and she's a goofball, and she also, I gave her the wrong aspiration. I meant to give her the painting aspiration, and that's the musical one, I think. I can't quite see because it's really small, but yeah, Melina has the very outspoken, loud purple and black room. She's got like the easel in there. She likes to spend her days painting. She is very like carefree, and she has a lot of friends, and she likes to goof around, and she doesn't take herself quite as seriously as everybody else in her family, especially her parents. They're a lot more serious. So she's kind of different that way. She's also into her looks too a little bit, but also more in a way that she likes to be different. And so that's why I gave her that shirt with like the colors on the front, because nobody in her family really wears loud colors like this. So I decided to give her that. She's a little different that way. And like the accessories, the bracelet, also her makeup for her formal wear is a little weird. I never use the makeup that came with the luxury stuff pack because it's too much for me, but in this case I think it suits Melina. I gave her that black dress with like the magenta. I think magenta would be her favorite color, or like purple. I gave her that dress as well. And then all of her pajamas, like her formal wear, her party wear, it's all bright colors. And you won't see that in any of the other Sims in this household. They're all pretty. They all normally wear just black, I think. But yeah, she's a little different that way. And yeah, so that's Melina. And then the third sister, we're not even done with the makeup yet. Still, I hate that you have to apply the makeup to every single outfit. The third sister is Miriam Sarkissian. She is considered like the ugly duckling of the family. Or no, not the ugly duckling. She's not ugly. She's just, she's very different than the rest of her family. She's neat and she's squeamish. She dresses a lot differently. She's a lot more modest. She is just, yeah, she's just different. She feels like she doesn't fit in with her family because she isn't really like them. She doesn't wear much makeup at all. She's very subtle. She wears like the dress with like that cardigan and the belt. I did start with that one, but then I changed it later because I thought the other one suited her a lot better. She is the one who has the room that's like the soft pink and gray tones. So yeah, she's very, like, she keeps to herself. She's not as involved with family stuff as the other 4. Like, she's kind of on the outside looking in, I think. So yeah, that's Miriam. She's kind of a sad character, but also I think she's my favorite just because she's different than the other ones. But I really like Miriam, so I gave her just some, I don't know, some more cutesy outfits than what the rest of her family is wearing. She still takes herself pretty seriously, but she's also a lot more modest than the rest. So that's her hot weather outfit, and then I'm doing her cold weather outfit, and that is the Sarkissian family, and I will be placing them in the Riverside Estate because that's where they are going to be living. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks so much for watching.